security or collateral that I will hold in order to do business with you. They break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Friday the 13th of January 2023. Remember viewers, I always encourage you to share our live stream on the social media platform. On Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. On YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So we are also trending on TikTok. It's Saieed Ali Real Talk on TikTok, the most famous social media platform in the world today. So remember viewers, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, just search for it, like us, share us, add us, let your friends and family know about Real Talk with Saieed Ali, the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have just a little update for you, but before I go into that, remember Real Talk Credit Union information is offering you up to 4% on fixed deposit. So if you have $100,000, I love to use a round figure. If you have $100,000 on a fixed deposit at Real Talk Credit Union, you're going to get 4% interest, which means it's $4,000 per year on your fixed deposit. So if you have that for 5 years now on $100,000, 5 4 is 20, that's $20,000 in 5 years on $100,000. Now I will tell you something. Real Talk Credit Union is the only credit union in Trinidad and Tobago, or the only financial institution that is offering you up to 4% on a fixed deposit. Trust me when I say I am going to change banking in Trinidad and Tobago. Trust me, because over the last 4 years, I would have told you, I'm going to push for this, it came true. I'm going to push for that, it come true. I'm going to push for this, it's coming true. So my track record of pushing for things, laws, legislation, amendments, something done in the country, my track record for that has been #1. #1. People who know about Saeed, people who know about the show, they can tell you that if he tell you he's going to do that, he is going to do that, and you're going to see it happening. So presently, viewers, Real Talk Credit Union information is paying you 4% on a fixed deposit. Remember that. Remember that, viewers. I'm also a licensed money lender. You want to do business with me, it's not a problem. You have house, you have land, you have gold, you have vehicle. You want cash borrow, it's not a problem. Make sure you're not owing on these items. Whatever you're going to use for security or collateral, however you want to call it, make sure you're not owing on it, and we can do business. So as we start up our program tonight, just an update on the Paria issue. There was a breach of duty of care by both Paria and LMCS. Counsel to the Commission, SC Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, in his findings in the inquiry, stated that both companies had a responsibility to ensure safety measures were in place for such a high-risk job. You see that? This is the same thing I was saying on a previous show. On our Thursday night show, that would have been Thursday the 12th of January. I was saying, so if they go out, they have a job to do underwater. Where is the manager? Where is the supervisor? Where is the safety officers? Where is the boat that would have divers on that boat in case something goes wrong to the divers under the water? Where were these securities? And thus far, since the inquiry have started, and we have shown you videos and clips, none of them had safety measures in place at that point in time, because we would have heard it in the video clip that you have been hearing from. So after mentioning that 1 or 2 times now, Ramesh Lawrence Maraj said both Paria and LMCS were at fault. Both companies had a responsibility to ensure safety measures were in place for such a high-risk job. Were there safety personnel? Were there health and safety personnel there? Were there supervisors? Were there managers? Was there a boat close by where they were actually doing the work underwater in case something happened to a diver? Were they a boat present? We heard nothing of this thus far. So hear this. He added that LMCS failed to acknowledge the possibility or the possible of a delta hazard occurring on the job site, while PARIA failed to identify this risk was missing due to a lack of expertise. I've been saying this. I've been asking on national television, where are the manager, the supervisors, the HSE are both standby, close by, with divers in it. Where were these? Nobody could have answered it. Nobody. Look at that. Look at that. Since the delta hazard was not accounted for, neither company were equipped to deal with the tragedy that claimed the lives of 4 divers on February 25th, 2022. Morad said the commissioner intends to present a final report in the findings of the inquiry to the President by April 30th, 2022. You sure it's 22 or 23? We're in 2023. So by April 2023, viewers, they're going to present to the President a final report. He also noted that this is one of the fastest a report has been produced by a commissioner within Commonwealth. The fastest. I could imagine how fast they hurried on that. I could imagine. So where were these stuff? Manager, supervisor, HSE, a medic. Did they have a medic on site in case something happened? Did anybody talk about a medic being on site? We're talking about a high-risk job. We're talking about someone could have gotten a seizure underwater. Ooh, no medic on site. So you see the amount of measures supposed to be in place. PARIA Fuel Trading Company Limited has no legal responsibility to rescue 5 land and marine contracting service. LMCS diver trapped inside its sea line number 36 last February. The Commission of Inquiries into the PARIA LMCS tragedy heard that the state-owned oil company only obligation was to support emergency and action rescue plan LMCS had for its employee. Sad boy. Presenting PARIA's final submission to the evidentiary hearing phase, Senior Counsel Gilbert Peterson presented a 11-point defense of the company's conduct in the rescue and recovery phase of the incident. However, Peterson argued that factually and expert evidence at the COE did not stop the criticism, and that PARIA action were wholly responsible given its operation condition following the incident. Let me tell you something, Israel thing coming out now, you know, everybody defending themselves. 4 men die, everybody battling to defend themselves now. He stated that the resource available and the safety potential for proposed rescue were live issue for PARIA's decision making. So prior to the incident, were there no safety around the area? Prior to the incident, were there any supervisor and manager there? At the beginning of the work, who were present? Ask yourself that. Who were present to give the okay to start the job? Was anybody there? Or these divers just picked up their gears and went down and started working. It's such a sad state. But nevertheless, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to touch on promoters. We're not pulling back for a carnival. That will be something after the break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also find us on Facebook at Realtalk Credit Union.
Welcome back to Realtalk, viewers, the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have some vehicles for you all to look for over the weekend if you want $5,000, but we go into that just now. The director will put that in place. The TNT Promoters Association President Jeremy Priscilla have stated that he urged and he agrees with the Prime Minister Dr. Saieed that COVID-19 is here and persons need to take personal responsibility in the fight against it. Now, Jerome, he spoke to the media after the PM spoke to the country about TNT's current COVID-19 condition. At a press conference, Dr. Rowley said COVID-19 cases were increasing, but Carnival would go on. Listen to this. Jerome stated that a meeting would be held with promoters to discuss what would be in place when it comes to COVID-19, preventing the spread and putting persons at ease so they could come out and have a good time for Carnival. Now, he added, we need to take personal responsibility because we cannot afford to shut down the economy. He also advised persons who had symptoms or felt unwell to stay at home. It's Carnival, whether you have the fever or not, we're going out into the streets. What does stop Trini from fetting? Nothing. So, listen to this.
But we are going into a carnival where the nature of carnival is meeting and mixing. We do not believe that the situation warrants us to not have carnival. But we believe that it warrants us taking personal decisions about your exposure to minimize instances of requirement for healthcare delivery to you. Now
viewers, Jerome noted that promoters would not be pulling back on their event or carnival since the industry has been down for 2 years. Now, you can't blame the promoters and them, because for the last 2 years they have not been making any money, and this was their source of income. So if the Prime Minister gives okay to keep Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago, promoters would continue promoting Carnival 2023. But like the Prime Minister said, you need to take personal responsibility. But during the last 2 years, how much more personal responsibility can one take? You wear your mask, you have your Lysol, you have your sanitizers. Some even had gloves on during the pandemic when they go outside. Now, there's only so much you could do. Your mask on and sanitize. That is all you could do. You cannot do anything more than that. You cannot do anything more than that. And just pray to God that you don't get COVID-19. That is all we could do. That is all we can do. I mean, I could understand the promoters didn't make any money in the last 2 years. We understand that. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali has once again updated the country on the government's response to COVID-19 virus, which continues to cause infectious and fatalities around the world and locally. Dr. Ali stated, "Let's calm down, get serious and pay attention." He said there was no need to panic. But it has been changing since November, and it is changing in January. Listen to our Prime Minister.
I want to start by saying, let's calm down. But let's be serious and let's pay attention. I have not been at this platform since, I forgot how long ago, early last year. As government and cabinet, we have continued to monitor COVID-19 through the Ministry of Health. Even when we were not talking to you about it, we were monitoring it, expecting that if the situation changes, we will have to come out and bring you back into the picture and bring you up to date as to what the change is. No need to panic, but it has been changing since November, and it is changing now in January, and we now have to pay attention.
Now, viewers, the PM added that the lowest COVID-19 positive case was reported in November, and he believes the spike would have been as a result of socializing during the Christmas season. Wow. Is always something to blame. It's always. It's a virus. It will spread. You cannot blame socializing. You can't. What about when we had the big event in Tobago? Come across in Tobago. It's the place to be for the Easter weekend. How many of you remember that? And we were socializing. Why didn't they prevent the socializing? But the Prime Minister said, come across. So we went across. He said the latest variant has also made its way to Trinidad and Tobago. The Minister of Health in Tuesday update reported that there were 406 new positive COVID cases between January 2nd and January 9th, with 8 deaths reported from January 2nd to January 10th. There are going to be deaths. There are going to be deaths. So I wonder if somebody died with a heart attack or natural cause, if they're going to say it's COVID. Took off before he died. What are we going to do? We're going to label that as COVID? Is natural cause of death going back for vacation? Is heart attack going back for vacation? Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. Epidemiologists Dr. Avery Hines have stated that there has been an upward trend in the number of COVID-19 cases as well as a percentage positive of patients tested. He stated that from the week that ended on Christmas Eve to the week that ended on New Year's Eve, there was a 38.8% increase in the weekly total, and the following week there was 67.7 higher than that. Dr. Hines added that there is an uptick in the spread at which the weekly totals are increasing, which is driven by all gathering and mingling. He also gave cautionary advice to bear in mind the potential of the spread. Listen to this.
We noticed that from week 50 to 51, or rather 51 to 52, that is from the week that ended on Christmas Eve to the week that ended on New Year's Eve, there was a 38% increase in the weekly total. And then the following week, that first week of January, that completed week was 65% higher than that. So we are seeing a pick-up, an uptick in the speed at which the weekly totals are increasing. So that's something that we're bearing in mind, and we know that it is to some extent driven by all of the gathering and mingling that we would have done, and we note that it will be driven further by the gathering and mingling that we plan to do. So we do need to, at this point, put out some cautionary advice in terms of bearing in mind the presence and the potential for spread.
Shows a fair, rapid increase in the expected numbers of cases per day. Dr. Hines noted that it was 58 at the last update, but if we continue with this rate, the average number of cases might be in the high hundreds. We cannot stop it. We have been in it for the last 2 years. It is going to continue spreading. And they created a vaccine in China. The vaccine was created in China. And what happened? What happened? So if in China the vaccine is being created to fight COVID-19 and they have been infected now, what's going to happen to us? What does that tell you of the vaccine, Trinidad and Tobagonians? What does that tell you? He said, there will be increasing in the numbers of cases, especially as there are more movement, more gathering, more liming. This is unlikely to decrease. He added that this is another reason for persons to get vaccinated to protect themselves and their loved ones. Listen to this.
What we did see when we looked at the projections moving forward is an increase, a very rapid increase in the expected sort of average number of cases per day. So it was 58 at the last update. By the middle of next week, if we continue at the rate that we're going at, the average number of cases may be in the low hundreds. And the week after that, maybe in the high hundreds. So we know that we will see increases in the numbers of cases, especially as we have more movement, more gathering, more mingling that is unlikely to decelerate. So it's another reason to re-emphasize the need for those who are vulnerable to protect themselves by getting vaccinated, those who know they live with vulnerable individuals and who plan to go mingling and having a good time, to also vaccinate themselves to reduce the risk of infection and the risk of transmission, and to have all individuals in indoor spaces, places where we can have transmission, also take their own personal precautions and protection, wearing their masks indoors in enclosed spaces. All of those things will help to blunt the speed at which this projected rise may actually unfold. So hopefully that info makes up for the lack of the slide.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back after this break, I have a question for you, and I want to hear your views. I want to hear your opinion. Do you think the government would shut down the country after 2023 Carnival takes place? We'll be right back to hear from you after this.
Real Talk Credit Union stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Grove, Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also find us on Facebook at Real Talk Credit Union.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So Trinidad and Tobago and the wider world who are viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali, the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a question for you. We know you will be out in your numbers for Carnival 2023 because for the last 2 years we have been dormant, we have been home, we didn't even get to go by the river to make a cook. A nice corridor by the river. Caller, good night.
Hello.
You're live on Real Talk, right ahead.
Hi, I'm calling here. I would not give my name, I will kind of give it off the air. But I have a situation with a pension there, and they're refusing to give him his pension. He's 65. He had a lot of medical issues, and they're refusing to give him his pension. They say he has to be in this country 50 years. He was living abroad. He came back. He's here about like 11 years. And they're refusing to give him his pension. They're making a lot of trouble.
Call me tomorrow, 339-1670, and we'll have a discussion.
339.
They will give you the number of air. So Trinidad and Tobago, do you think the government or the COVID-19 board or the health ministry is going to send back us into a lockdown after the carnival? I want to hear from you. Now, this carnival 2023, as a former Attorney General said, it will be the mother of all carnival. Because after 2 years being locked down, we're going to come back out in our numbers on the streets. In our numbers. It's the first time everybody in Trinidad and Tobago going to free up themselves. So is the government of the day going to shut down or lock us down back after the 2023 carnival? So the Minister of Health, Terence Singh, have stated that it was the increase in cases and the presence of the new variant which led the ministry to believe or to begin its mall drive exercise last weekend. In addition to continuing to offer COVID-19 and influenza vaccine at health centers, especially in light of the increased visitors' arrival during carnival. He stated that the response far exceeds expectations, as between Friday and Saturday, the ministry gave out 500 COVID-19 vaccine and 1,500 flu vaccine. Listen to the health minister.
Last week, over Friday and Saturday at the different malls, we did just over 500 COVID vaccines, which is very, very good. Whether it's first dose, second dose, or boosters, it far exceeded our expectations. And we did over 1,500 flu vaccines. So we did just over 2,000 in 2 days. And we are very grateful for that response.
Now, viewers, in all, 29,962 flu vaccines were administered in the last 2 months, compared to last season figures of 26,000. However, 452 children under the age of 5, 383 pregnant women, and 867 healthcare workers were vaccinated. They also added that the World Health Organization said that COVID-19 vaccines were interchangeable. He said the ministry currently has 244,788 Sinopharm doses on hand, expiring in June 2023, and 185,286 J&J doses, expiring in May to July 2023. The also stated that to date, only 51.3% of the population was vaccinated, but urges the rest of the population to get vaccinated now, as vaccine works. Listen to this.
On the COVID-19 front, to date, we have vaccinated 718,230 persons completely, which is 51.3% of the population, and 169,955 who have been boosted. We are again appealing, and let me repeat what all the doctors have said. The evidence clearly shows that vaccination works. So all the vaccines we have been using in Trinidad and Tobago, whether it's Pfizer, whether it's Sinopharm, whether it's J&J, are all captured in this data. You have heard every single health professional speak about the fact that people presenting to us are mainly the unvaccinated. So I will close by just adding my support to my colleagues' exhaustions to get vaccinated.
That's the Alison idea, not mine. Not mine. We had a lot of cases with people taking the vaccine in the last 2 years and ending up in problems. Were any one of the problem addressed? Did they even venture to find out what was the cause? Right here we had numerous calls. But like I said, and I will continue to say this, it is up to the individual to take the vaccine. It is up to the individual. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to hear from you. Do you think the government will put us into another lockdown after Carnival? For the second half of this program, I want to hear from you. Do you think the government will do that? So while you're going to make your contribution, comment to that. Listen to this. Some 605 persons were murdered last year, said Senior Superintendent Rishi Singh to the Homicide Bureau of Investigations of the Police Service at a briefing at headquarters in Port of Spain. On Thursday, he also said, so far this year, 18 persons have been murdered. 18 for the year already. However, as of today, the murder totals now stand at 21. Singh stated that last year, the police solved 100 murders, of which 75 have been committed that year. 89 persons were charged for 75 of those homicides committed last year. For the 100 murders solved last year, inclusive of crime committed in the past years and the last year, 129 persons have been charged. Singh gave a breakdown of the circumstances of the 605 homicide committed last year. Singh added that the 18 homicide at this time, this year, include 12 gang-related, 5 of unknown circumstances, and 1 owing to an altercation. He said, those 18 murders gave the police no satisfaction. And he appealed to members of the public to reach out to the police to expose detail on illegal items such as drugs, firearm, and false number plate for cars. So Trinidad and Tobago, if you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. It's time that we, the citizens, take back Trinidad and Tobago from crime, from home invasion, from car theft, from robbery in general. How do we do that? How do we do that? How do we take back our country from criminal elements? How? I want to ask Heinz this question. How do we take it back? When you are the Minister of National Security, telling the population, it is not my job to secure the citizens of our country. So whose job is it? Is it Terence Dialsing's job, Mr. Heinz? Let me tell you something. That statement alone that you made caused Trinidad and Tobago to not depend on you as the Minister of National Security. Call a good night.
It is not my job to secure the citizens of our country.
I do apologize, caller, too much of distortion. We could not hear you properly. So, Mr. Heinz, when you come out and making such a statement, how can the police service in Trinidad and Tobago look up to you? Being the Minister of Security, how can they look up to you? By making those statements, you know how many officers maybe look down at you? We're here risking our lives. Trying to make you look good. The Minister of Security. Now you come to tell us it is not your job. Well then why are we making you look good? Why? Why am I coming out here risking my life, my safety, my family's safety to make you, Mr. Hines, look good when you telling us it is not your job? Why is that man still there? Why? Call a good night.
Hello?
Yes, you're live on Real Talk. Hello?
Hello?
We do apologize for that. Mute your television when calling in. Now I know, I could tell you something, eh? I will tell you something. Call a good night.
Good night.
You're live on Real Talk, go right ahead.
Yeah, I was just, you're asking to call in because they're keeping the carnival, they say they're going to lockdown. But that's the reason why they want to keep carnival, to lock down the country up, so they can spend all the money they want.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. You see, we want to hear from you, the people. We want to hear from the people because the government ain't coming down to hear nothing about you, you know. The only time the government coming down, the only time the government getting up from that nice, warm, cozy chair to come down to meet you, if rain falling, is for you to get this little finger and vote, dip it ink. That's the only time, rain or no rain, they're coming down. Big campaigning. Other than that, they don't want to hear you. Your voice, anytime after election, is not valid. It is not. And we as a citizen supposed to understand that by now. We're supposed to understand that. Call a good night. Hello. We're supposed to understand that as a people. Call her good night. When are we going to understand that? When? Call her good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
My friend, Happy New Year to you and the family as well, even though it's late.
Same to you, man. Only best thing you hear. Right? I have 3 points here, sir.
Talk to me.
I hear touching on some important things, right? Now, I find it real convenient that the Prime Minister just go against the Constitution when it's now working for him. And when it's working for him, he just quote the Constitution to the population now. For instance, right? I hear he was talking concerning this whole this whole thing with the president, right? Now he said it's constitutional what he doing and thing, right? Was it constitutional to hold back local elections for a full year? You hear anything concerning this whole constitutional reform what they're talking about? You hear anything about that? But the whole
we're not hearing anything.
Whole year. When the president was that constitutional to take it back? No, I just asked him questions here. You asked that question tonight. Why Fitzgerald Hines is still the Minister of National Security? I can answer that question for you tonight.
Tell me.
Because Fitzgerald Hines is just a puppet to keep rolling. If you listen to the man when he is speaking on any media conference, you must listen to him very well. When you talk about the FUL situation, things go on the country to become like the Wild Wild West. Not one FUL and sign out since Gary Griffith left office.
True.
Because the man gives strict instructions to Fitzgerald Hines that you don't want nobody get no FUL because you don't want nobody get no fire again. That is the instructions he given people, right? He controlling Fitzgerald Hines. He's bringing a president in who is a stunt PNM. Everybody in the country sees on a platform, a PNM platform. You're going to bring here the president, that be a PNM president now, where you can control the president. So you're going to control the Minister of National Security. You handpick the Commissioner of Police. So you're going to control the Commissioner of Police. You're going to control the President's office. And let me ask that question, I say, the year finished. They say they were going to pick a commissioner by the new year. The year starts. You see they talking about picking a commissioner? No. The thing is, my theory is that they're going to pick that president, for that president to put a certain merit list for them to put it in Parliament of guys.
There you have it, Trinidad and Tobago. There you have it.
That is what they're going to do. So that Gary Griffith will never see that office of commissioner
again.
Never again. I see Rowley plan right now. If people feel that alliance, or they wait and they see what's going on. Because this government have a way of setting things in place. So people fall into place because our side to their side, they think about the population and our stupid population. And my last thing I want to touch on before I go right side, and what I take them next time, is that I noticed that this government, they're doing all kinds of things in PNN areas. I see they opening swimming pools here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
They're doing all kinds of things. All the community centers, they're digitalizing everything. Everything they're digitalizing. What about the 20 areas? Listen, there are people in the 20 areas, they like to swim too, and there are people who like to get free Wi-Fi too.
Yes.
Or you need to stop finding Indian people. I see the government right outside doing the Indian people, they're pulling Indian people down and stop finding Indian people. Anyway, sir, you enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. Who will be the next commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago? Well, let's talk now. I just didn't want to say it yet, you know. I just didn't want to say it yet. Let's say something now, no? Say something now. Say something now. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but we'll be right back after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
RealTalk Credit Union stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the RealTalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Grony, Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also find us on Facebook at RealTalk Credit Union.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Call a good night.
Yeah, Mr. Saeed, I hear you talking about Carnival. I want to know if you could choose on Carnival before or after. What you going to do? And just do it done before? Because when Carnival done, you will find a set of dead body all over the place, you know. You know that?
I understand what you're saying.
So I just what you are saying, or what you saying. I can't understand that about. I can't understand. You do things upside down, boy. You understand? Take the front, you do it back. You understand?
I understand.
I can understand when you close the carnival and get dangerous, so you close it down. And after you go marketing and right? And then you close the carnival and have it master me. And you have that? Master me. Why can't have it master me? Close it down now. And then after you go, not before, because a lot of people are going to die. Alright, thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Is the government of the day, together with the medical fraternity in Trinidad and Tobago, going to lock down Trinidad and Tobago after the 2023 Carnival? Seeing that cases are rising, according to Dr. Avery Hines and the Health Minister. Now, cases will go up. Cases will go up. It is something we cannot stop. It is something we cannot stop. But the thing is, this is a serious question. Shutting down the economy for another year, where is it going to leave the citizens of this country? When some of us can't recover from the last 2 years. This is what we have to take into consideration. This is what we have to take. Many of us could not open back business. Many of us are still without jobs. Many of us are still, I would use the term, scraping to save money. Because you know when you have a little hardship, you're scraping in all corners for 10 cents and 5 cents to make up $1. Call a good night.
Good night, Charlie. How are you good?
I'm okay. Go right ahead, you're live.
If government closed down the country after Carnival, that is not his decision. That is we, the population decision. According to our behavior, the numbers will go up.
It will go up. Thank you.
It all depends on our behavior, the population behavior. If we behave good, we won't close it down. Have a blessed night, my brother. I enjoy your show. I just want you to know.
Thank you so much, my friend. This is what we have to look at. The numbers will go up. We cannot stop the numbers from going up. We cannot stop the virus from spreading. Whether you're vaccinated or not, you will get COVID-19. Whether you're vaccinated or not. But the thing is, if you shut down the economy, if you shut down or lock us down for another 6 months, what is going to happen? People could not, for this last couple of months gone by, a lot of people could not save to put back. A lot of people, some of them even starting from scratch again. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go ahead, my dear, live on Real Talk.
Okay. This man loves to wine and dine and party. This man that we call our Prime Minister, Saieed Ali, he's going to wait until after Carnival to shut down the country. You understand what I'm saying? That's simple as that. He loves to wine and show off and wine.
Thank you, my dear. Come after Carnival, we're going to hear a couple thousand people got COVID-19. But the real thing is, what's going to happen with the economy? What's going to happen with the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago if they decide to shut it down? What's going to happen then? Think about that. Just think about that for a moment. For the last 2 years, business shut down, banks seized properties, people lost job, some are home, some are still home doing nothing, scraping to see if they find a little job here and there. What is going to happen if we go back into another lockdown? Think about that. Think about that. That is something we need to think about as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Jump high, jump low, we go in Carnival. Because jump high and jump low, we went Tobago. Jump high and jump low, we kept a big jam. But not Billy Goat Pen. Health? Taste of Carnival. We had a big jam. Taste of Carnival was a big jam. But I believe it was a 6x6 or a 4x4. 6x6 for we to jump in. A pod. P-O-D. They call it a pod. We didn't hear nothing about COVID spread there. We didn't hear anything about COVID spread. It's sad, you know. It's sad. But nevertheless, the show must go on according to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. We can't stop that. It is revenue coming into Trinidad and Tobago. I understand that from a business perspective. I understand that. It's US dollar coming into our economy. But what is going to happen after? Are they going to shut us down? What's going to happen? How many people are going to be without grants again? It's sad. How many people will come out on the streets to live now? This is what we need to think about. You see, numbers going up, it will go. It is a must. It's Carnival around the corner. We can't stop that. We can't. And for the last 2 years of fetaholic citizens, I believe that is the correct word to use, fetaholic citizens in Trinidad and Tobago, we can't stop it. It's like alcohol. It doesn't matter how high it go, we purchase it. And cigarette, it doesn't matter how high it go, we purchase it. If you're smoking 5 cigarettes for the day, we might smoke about 3. But at the end of the day, we still purchasing it. We still doing that. So viewers, I do thank you for viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali for this week. I want to thank you in advance for next week. We are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, I'm a licensed money lender. You want to do business with me, it's not a problem. Real Talk Credit Union information is giving you 4% on a fixed deposit. You can open an account for your kid right here at Real Talk Credit Union. We are making a difference. Real Talk is branded by Saieed Ali. It is our name, it is our brand. And for those of you who have been members of our credit union, we do want to thank you. Encourage your friends and your family to open an account. Encourage them to open a fixed deposit where you get the highest interest rate paid in the land only by Real Talk Credit Union. I can say that because I did my survey. You see, before I come out with something, I will do a poll around Trinidad to see who have the highest. You do that for yourself and see who is paying you a higher interest rate. See who is doing that. Nobody other than Real Talk. I am solid, I am grounded. Money is insured. I always tell people everything I do, I make sure everything is secure and safe before I come out with something. I do that. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, tonight I want to thank my staff for coming out and helping to make Real Talk the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad. I know for the last 3-4 years they have been working hard. So tonight, as the year starts, now I'm going to tell you something before I go on. My staff will tell you, one side going up, they going up also. They will tell you that. So I want to thank Selector Flex, who's a DJ. You know, I want to thank him for the year he has been with us. Is that year? About a year being with us. Remember, we had a previous director. I want to thank Navin. Navin is my candle partner, you know. I want to thank Jovel. I want to thank Shania. I want to thank William, who's on board with us for a couple of months now. You know, and well, there are others, but who they don't want to name mention. I don't know why. Maybe their girlfriend or their boyfriend, wherever. But nevertheless, these are just a few of them who have been around for a long time. I just want to say thanks to them for, you know, working, the support, coming out, making the sacrifice. And I want to thank you most of all the viewers for turning your station to Synergy from 7 to 8, Monday to Friday, just to view Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I do want to thank you for making us the #1. Now with your viewing and the numbers going up, we will continue being the #1. And I just want to thank you for that. So viewers, may God continue to bless you and give you what you desire come 2023. Until we meet Monday would be the 16th of January, 2023. Thank you for viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali.